The opening scene shows a thief named Tom Chitling, who steals an envelope from a safe and flees from the guard. He seems to have very good parkour skills, using which he escapes through the roofs and balconies of the houses. Unfortunately, his escape is thwarted when he's thrown off a building by an unknown assailant. The envelope is then stolen away, while Tom is left to die. The film then shifts back a few years, and we're introduced to a young boy named Oliver, who lives with his mother Molly. The two of them used to paint together, go to art galleries, and talk about paintings by well-known artists. Regardless of their poor standard of living, they live happily. However, life does not remain stable forever, as some years later, Molly passes away from unknown causes, leaving Oliver alone in the world. Unable to cope with his mother's absence, Oliver begins spending his days and nights in museums and art galleries. Eventually, he becomes a street thug who relies on stealing for a livelihood. He teaches himself how to free run and gets the nickname Twist. He not only has parkour skills, but he also has a talent for graffiti art, something he inherited from his mother. One day, Oliver is graffiti spraying on a traffic warden's van when he's caught by some cops. Following this, a chase begins, and during this, Oliver encounters 3 members of a criminal organization named Dodge, Batesy, and Red. The gang transports him to their base near the Truman Brewery. There, he meets Fagin, an elderly man who appears to be the carer. The old man asks Oliver to join their gang, but he declines and walks away. The next morning, the criminal gang notices Oliver drawing a massive graffiti painting on a building. Old Fagin is able to judge Oliver and understands that he needs love. He then sends Red to invite him to dinner so that they can show him some care. Later that evening, Red goes to the roof of a building where Oliver has taken up a temporary residence. The two have a quick chat, and they seem to enjoy each other's conversation. Before leaving, Red invites him to dinner at Fagin's, saying that they might be better company for him rather than his paintings. Meanwhile, Fagin meets with an old friend named Sykes, who confesses to being the one who pushed Tom. She then asks Fagin to be her business partner, and when he agrees, she keeps his valuable envelope as an assurance in case things go south. Later that night, Oliver arrives at the criminals' base and joins them for dinner. He quickly befriends these humble and low-life petty criminals who make him feel at home. He feels even more at ease after learning that everyone else is an orphan like him. After dinner, Fagin and Oliver have a brief conversation, during which Fagin mentions that he needs someone who can train with Red and keep up with her. After learning how they live as a family, Oliver gladly agrees to join them. The next day, Fagin informs the team about a wealthy man named Dr. Crispin Losburn, who is a curator, art dealer, and connoisseur of 18th century painters. According to Fagin, Crispin took everything from him, so he's now considering to repay the favor. Following this, he shares his plan to steal a priceless art collection from Crispin's gallery. As the first part of their plan, Red purposely bumps into Crispin and spills coffee on him. She then takes his jacket, pretending to clean it. At the same time, Oliver steals Crispin's phone and transports it to Batesy, who quickly makes a copy of its data. While Red distracts him with her conversations, Oliver smoothly places the phone back, successfully completing their first part of the plan. Later, Fagin hands Red some art books and instructs her to study because she'll need that information while talking to Crispin in the future. He also asks Oliver to help her with it, which he happily accepts. The two then go to the art gallery, where Oliver describes the paintings to her. They get along very well and appear to be content together. Next, Fagin explains about the painting they'll be stealing. It is one of 6 paintings by classical English Renaissance painter William Hogarth. Fagin claims that many years ago, Crispin formed a partnership with a man named Isaac Solomon, and the two of them purchased a large number of paintings, one of which was of Hogarth. But when they had an auction, Crispin went missing with the paintings. Later, he said that the paintings had been stolen, betraying Solomon. In the middle of their conversation, Sykes walks in with her dog Bullseye, and Fagin introduces Oliver to them. As the second part of the plan, Red visits Crispin's house to plant a small bomb in his bathroom. However, she drops the bomb by accident, causing it to explode with a small blast sound. She manages to regain control of the situation and calls the team to request another bomb. Oliver, using his parkour skills, soon sneaks into Crispin's house and heads to the bathroom. They then plant the small bomb on a pipe in the bathroom, Just then, Dodge prank calls Crispin and, using his distraction, Oliver and Red flee the scene. Shortly after, the team detonates the bomb, prompting the pipe to explode and the water to flood out. This forces Crispin to make a tough decision to move the painting. Back at the base, the team is celebrating the success of their second plan. But Oliver's joy is short-lived when he discovers that Red is Sykes' partner. Following this, they all go to a pub, where everyone begins to enjoy themselves except for Oliver. A few moments later, Red approaches him for a conversation, but Sykes' goons, who believe Oliver is hitting on her, picks a fight. As a result, the entire team fights those thugs and escapes the pub. In the next scene, Oliver and Red end up in a pool and start having some personal conversation. During this time, he asks if she is into girls, to which she denies. Furthermore, she denies her relationship with Sykes, leaving him perplexed. Red then shoves him into the pool before jumping in and kissing him, wiping away all his confusion. Following this, they run through the park, only to be apprehended by police. Oliver is arrested for graffiti painting the traffic warden's van earlier, while Red returns to their base. At the police station, Oliver is interrogated by detectives Brownlow and Bedwin, who also inform him of Tom's death. After warning him that he could end up the same way, they question him about Fagin and Sykes, but Oliver pretends not to know them. Then the detectives release him and he returns to the base. The moment he arrives, Sykes confronts him and suspects that he has revealed some information to the police. She warns him that her gaze will be at him at all times. A while later, they overhear Crispin speaking with a delivery company about moving the paintings to a news place. This is when they carry out the third stage of the plan, which is to steal the painting while it's on the move. Batesy is assigned to hide in one of the delivery truck's boxes, but because he's claustrophobic, Oliver switches places with him. As planned, Dodge and Batesy disguise themselves as construction workers, stop the delivery truck, and try to distract the driver. This earns them enough time for Oliver to slip out of the box and steal the painting from the other box. Despite all this, their plan does not go as smoothly as before, because Crispin soon catches wind of the thieves and immediately informs the truck driver. As a result, the driver unexpectedly accelerates the truck, causing Oliver to fall out empty-handed. Sykes and Red, who are behind the truck, get out to handle the situation, but soon after, the police arrive. Oliver and Red are told to run away while Sykes stays behind to fight the police officers. Afterwards, they all return to the base, and Sykes lashes out at Oliver for changing the plan. Despite his claims of innocence, she suspects that he's working for the police. She then decides to punish him, but Red intervenes in support of Oliver. She claims he didn't reveal anything to the cops and was only arrested for graffiti painting the traffic warden's van. Sykes inquires as to how she's so certain, to which she responds that they were swimming together that day. When Sykes hears this, she feels betrayed, so she drags Red away and beats her up. Meanwhile, Dodge tries to contact Batesy, but in vain. Oliver then reveals that Sykes murdered him just as she did Tom. Dodge does not believe him until Sykes confirms it. She also threatens to kill everyone if they continue to sabotage the plan. Following this, Fagin devises another plan to break into the auction building where the Hogarth painting is going to be auctioned. All of the group members disguise themselves and head towards the auction building. Fagin and Red plant a gun in Crispin's chair before joining the audience, whereas Dodge steals a security identity card with which she unlocks the roof door, allowing Oliver to enter. Shortly after, Crispin retrieves the gun from his chair, which causes a big evacuation. As a result, he's taken away by the police while the painting is shifted back to the safe via elevator. Just then, Oliver sneaks into the elevator, sprays the CCTV camera, and successfully steals the painting. Unfortunately, Detective Bedwin spots him and pursues him. However, Oliver's parkour abilities prove to be a significant advantage, enabling him to escape beyond the detective's sight. Outside the auction building, Crispin recognizes Fagin, but before he can utter a word, Fagin strikes him with a low blow and walks away. Meanwhile, Dodge receives a phone call from Batesy, who turns out to be still alive. He reveals that Sykes tried to murder him and forbids her from meeting with him again. However, they have no choice because Sykes has held Red hostage. Later on, all of the group members gather on a roof, but before Oliver hands over the painting to Sykes, he demands that she release Red. At first, Sykes agrees, but suddenly she tricks him and snatches the painting from his grasp. However, Oliver seems to be unaffected by this. He reveals that he made a duplicate of the painting and that he has hidden the original somewhere else. He then persuades Sykes by saying that before getting into graffiti, he used to paint. He again forwards the condition that if she lets him and Red go, he will call her and tell her where the painting is. Hearing this, Fagan asks Sykes to do what he says because the painting is all that matters. After learning that Fagan is on Oliver's side, she shoots him in the arm, claiming that she is the one who gets to decide how it should end. Taking advantage of the distraction, Oliver and Red flee, but they are followed by Sykes. Unfortunately, she catches up to them and holds them at gunpoint. She's about to shoot Oliver, but at the same time, she is shot, causing her to fall off the building. When Oliver turns around, he sees Fagan holding the gun and claiming it is a death penalty. A week later, Oliver meets Detective Bedwin and Brownlow at a cafe and cunningly leaves them the envelope along with a key. As soon as they depart, Oliver calls Brownlow to hint that the painting had been right beside them the entire time. The envelope reveals the true owners of the painting, and the key leads them to Crispin's locker, which houses many stolen artworks. This leads the police to immediately arrest Crispin, as they deduce that the famous art dealer has been making his fortune by selling stolen artworks. It's also revealed that Fagan secretly stole the envelope from Sykes' pocket earlier, while she was holding Red hostage. The envelope reveals that Isaac Solomon is none other than Fagan himself, and that he is the real owner of the stolen paintings. Fagan, whose vengeance has finally been exacted, has been cleared off from the records, so he departs to live a simple life. Among all those stolen paintings, one of them belongs to Oliver's mother. The painting finds its place in an exhibition at the National Art Gallery, and critics regard Molly's painting as a royal work of art. With this, Oliver finally fulfills his mother's dream of becoming an acclaimed artist. In the end, we see Oliver telling his group to stop stealing and start selling Molly's remaining paintings, which are in high demand right now. In the midst of it all, Oliver and Red begin their new relationship.